My name is Lili Tombe. I'm 18 years old and I'm about to be an incoming freshman at UCI. I would say writing is one of my biggest hobbies. I recently started writing poetry, but for a little bit before that, I was just journaling and doing stuff like that. And then also I sing a lot. I've been singing for a very long time. Probably when I was like 3 years old or something like that, but started taking it a little bit more seriously as I got into middle school and high school and stuff like that. Well, I write daily. I would say ever since COVID, that was one thing that I did to help relieve a lot of stress. So yeah, every single day I try to journal at least once a day, and then poetry probably a little bit closer to once or twice a week. But I usually journal at night, typically, just to reflect on the day and stuff like that. So usually pretty late at night, like 11:30, right before I go to sleep or something like that. Yeah. I would say one of my biggest challenges that I had to overcome was things that had to do with my identity. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, and so there weren't a lot of people who looked like me or understood maybe some of the struggles that I was going through. And so with that, I think it's something, even if you're not a black individual in that situation, identity is something that a lot of people my age struggle with. It might look differently, but for me, that's what it mainly was. But I was able to kind of connect with people who also had similar experiences. And from there, I was able to kind of accept the challenge. I kind of like the idea of although it kind of looked at it as a negative thing in the past, just understanding that the things that you know are different about me are the things that ultimately are one of the greatest things about me. And even in my future, I know there's not going to be a lot of black female lawyers, and it's something that I accept, and that's a challenge that I'm honestly excited to face. But yeah, I would say understand that you're not the only one who is struggling, and that regardless of what your journey of discovering who you are is, that you're not alone and that you're going to get through it. And also just know that you were created the way that you were for a reason, and that's something that nobody can take away from you, regardless of whether or not people are hating on you or whatever. Just know that you are exactly the way that you're supposed to be, and yeah, you'll get through it. Um, One that I'm really proud of is growing up, I was really not the best student academically. When I had moved to the school that I went to, even in elementary school, I was in lower reading level classes and math classes and stuff like that. So I was put in I would get pulled out of class and read with volunteers and stuff like that. And that's something that I struggled with for a while. And then going into high school, I kind of decided that I was going to not necessarily listen to the people around me who were telling me that I wasn't good enough or I wasn't academically strong enough. And I kind of took initiative and would go to tutoring if I needed to, would stay after class and get understanding on topics. And from there, my academics skyrocketed. Freshman year was definitely tough. I failed two classes freshman year of high school and I had to retake those. But then I also learned a lot about myself in the process of that, and the way that I can learn and the way that I can understand. And from there, I once again took initiative and I performed very, very well the last 3 years of high school and was able to be in upper level reading classes and upper level classes like that to and it kind of made me realize how far I had come from being in, reading programs in kindergarten to being in college level English classes in high school. And then another accomplishment that I'm pretty proud of is I was an ASB for 3 years of high school, and my senior year I won senior class presidency. So I was able to work with my grade and kind of give back to my school in that way, and that was something that was super cool. Probably writing and listening to music, but also just going on walks and trying to connect with nature and do stuff like that. Just kind of get out of my space, because I think a lot of my stress kind of comes from my surroundings. So if I physically take myself out of that environment, that I'm able to calm down. And then also just talking to friends about it and stuff like that. Honestly, I would say just the experiences and stuff that I had to deal with have kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things in the world around me. And I think obviously my family and my friendships and stuff like that has kind of all helped me become the person that I am. I've had really amazing mentors throughout the course of my life, specifically middle school and high school, who helped me a lot. And so I would say that has really just helped me become who I am today. The goal that I'm looking at right now is becoming a civil rights lawyer, majoring in political science at UCI, to hopefully get that next step to get that law degree. And I just want to give back to my community. I would work directly with people who I want to help in the end, and fight for people who have been discriminated against, and women and children and all things that I'm very passionate about. And then eventually I hope to give back to my community, the South Sudanese community. I was very detached, I would say, from my culture growing up, and that's something that I definitely want to reconnect with and be able to give back to the people who gave back or gave me so much.